You are listening to a compendium of clips from previous episodes of Lux Life Discovered. Short nuggets of insights from guests that made an impact on the show. They will come at you in random order, so hang on to your hat.
Now, instead of it being a partnership, it was just Micah and I, but we still felt like very called to doing these things that we were already planning with the conference and then with our retreats. So we stepped right on into that conference. It was called Lean In, Level Up, and the whole point of it being, let's lean into those hard things, to those things that maybe hurt to take a look at, those things that hurt to press into, but let's dig in, like let's do the work on those things. We had an incredible team of speakers covering all those topics. We talked about addiction and like I said, abuse and trauma, and whether it was in their faith walk, in their fitness, their relationships, their businesses, finances. So we kind of tackled all of it with this faith and fitness as kind of our foundation, with like we call them our wrecking ball tools for being able to have breakthrough into these next levels of our lives. It was unbelievable. It was such a beautiful time. It was the end of January. Had just a beautiful group there in Tampa, and so connecting, so much impact. And then that leads into our retreats, which is we're coming up on the end of May. They're called Soul Fit retreats, and this is a chance for the people to share their stories. So we kind of create these safe spaces where my new thing that I'm calling it is, we create these safe spaces where love thrives and where wounds heal. And again, we do that coming at it from the bottom. Our foundation is faith and fitness, our wrecking ball tools, but we give them the space that, like, let's get in there and let's do the work together so we can encourage, empower each other. I mean, it's been really fun. It's very cohesive with Hitch Fit. It's kind of just taking things like, let's dig a little bit deeper and let's do this other work, and let's just see what happens. So that's where we're at.
Wow. And it's not just Hitch Fit, your Hitch Fit group. I mean, it's for anybody, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's for anyone. A lot of people that come to the SoulFit retreats or the conference have never been a part of Hitch Fit at all.
Okay. All right.
Because a lot of those people don't live necessarily in Kansas City. We have the online business with Hitch Fit as well, but yeah, these people are going, hey, I'd love to go to an exotic, amazing, beautiful location around the world with a group of amazing people that I can build new relationships with and have some new connections with, do some networking with, but also really dive into some things that I need to get through, whether it be a leader or a stay-at-home mom. Like, it doesn't matter where they are in their walk or where they're at as far as leadership. We're going in and allowing them and building a safe space so that they can then, communicate what it is they're going through, and we can help them get through it.
Okay. You announced the location recently, right?
Yeah,
where
it is
that?
in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. So this resort we just went there to build the itinerary for this. It's at a Secrets Moche, and it's stunning. 5 diamond. It is immaculate. It's a really nice resort. But again, we do so many things within the retreats that are just game changing, that we didn't copy from anyone, that we literally are like, like, this is what fits what we do at SoulFit. For instance, this one, we're going to do something called a transformation celebration. So we rented their theater for 3 hours, and people are leading into the retreat, getting in the best shape of their lives. Some of them are, and some of them will get on stage, and ultimately we're going to give them stage time and just celebrate them up there, and like put their before picture, and they walk out. We're going to give away prizes.
Music also did not define me. It was just an outlet for me to be creative, because I've always been so creative and entrepreneurial. And so after that, I figured out that what's really important to me is to have control over my finances, over my emotions, and over my career. And I was intrigued by the beauty industry, because I always thought, like, makeup artists and hairstylists, it's so fun for them, because every time a client leaves an appointment with them, they feel so good. And so that's when I got into spray tanning. And throughout that experience, I realized that I was making women feel so beautiful in their most vulnerable moments, because there's nothing more vulnerable than just meeting me and getting butt naked and saying, "Hey," right? But feeling so beautiful. And it was really cool, because I'm able to now, through what I'm doing, is put women in a situation where they're vulnerable and feel good, which was the opposite of what I felt, as I felt so vulnerable and I was made to feel so small and not safe.
Right.
So it's, I know people love spray tans and that's fun and all, but for me, it's so much deeper. It's formulated without a bronzer, and then it's not going to rub off on clothing or your wedding dress. And then the next morning you have a beautiful tan. But what's great is that it doesn't accentuate all those skin irritations I just talked about. So I literally have something for everyone.
Are most of your clients women?
They are. I will do couple spray tans when they go on vacation. I just did a groom yesterday. So
Really?
it's
Okay.
couples, because a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to look like I just had a spray tan. I'm like, not with me. Not with the tanning mixologist. I can make it look really natural.
Well, that's good.
Wow.
You don't want your husband to be all pale and you look so
Right.
fit.
Yeah.
So how does that work? So you come to their house
Right.
and you set something up? Do you have
Yes.
or do we go to your van, or what is?
Oh no,
what's
I
it like?
do.
I don't know.
I do not have a van. I have like tanning mobile, so I pull
Okay.
up, and then I enter your house. I have a tent that I pop up,
Okay.
so to ensure like no spray gets anywhere. So it's a really clean, easy process, and then from there I just spray away.
And how long does it take for like what do you do to prep for, like what would I do to prep for you to come to spray me?
Honestly, all I need is just a space. It could be a bathroom. I do it in bathrooms all the time. I've done it in hallways and in outlets, and you're good to go. It really is so convenient and so easy.
That's so nice.
It really is. Yes.
So when did you first discover that you wanted to do this?
So my story's kind of crazy. When I was 14, I got signed to a record label as a singer and a songwriter. And I'm a very dedicated person, so I decided to complete all of high school in just 2 months. I did it online, so I was really committed. And
Well, you did high school in 2 months?
yes,
Oh, wow.
I like
Okay.
ace. I'm like that kind of person where if I'm all in or all out, no matter what I do.
I knew a lot about fitness, but I didn't really know, how to get clients and how to, build those business relationships and, bring people on. So about 6 months into teaching some fitness classes and just working the front desk at the gym, I realized that I was going to need some help. So I hired a business coach. I spent a good chunk of money that I didn't have at the time to get a business coach who taught me a lot of the business side of things. And then from there, I was able to start, bringing on some clients, and it's just kind of like snowballed from that point. That was in 2018, 2019 is kind of when I, dove fully in, and I've been doing that ever since. And I'm no longer at that gym, and I just work for myself entirely. I coach out of a different local gym here as like a contractor, but throughout that whole period of time, you learn just about, what you like to do and how you want to spend your time. And for me, I think COVID played a real big role in that. So I would say most of my clients are people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s who they might have been previously athletic in life or might have worked out, but, kids, career, the stress of life has caught up, and they're realizing that, they need to take better care of themselves. It's about, building a lifestyle, and something that's sustainable, really kind of systemizing it as a whole, because the people who, set those very specific goals tend to fall off. They tend to, they train really hard, they get to the thing, they get to the event, and that's fine if you want to challenge yourself. But, for me, it's a lot about how do we build something that you can keep doing, that you can tolerate? Because when you stop doing it, it's going to stop working.
Well, and you brought up a good point about the lifestyle, because that's so important to understand from a lifestyle perspective, rather than like I'm going to lose 20 pounds, and once they reach that goal, whatever it is, if they reach it, they're done.
Right.
Or if they don't reach it, they're done. That type thing. So really, if you understand the benefits of it lifelong and what it does to your mind and body, and
Check out Lux Life Discovered on Facebook and Instagram, and on 30a.tv. See you next time on Lux Life Discovered.